Start with the identification tag on the side. Here you'll find the manufacturer, the date it was manufactured, tire size and pressure, gross weight. Below you'll find your VIN number, cargo capacity. To the left, also cargo weights and VIN number, and a tire chart. Up front, your battery. These aren't maintenance-free batteries. You may have to add water to them at some point. If you're not going to be using your unit for a while, I would disconnect it. There is a bit of a power drain. And for winter, I would put it somewhere warm. You have one 20-pound propane tank up front. A little plug-in for a solar panel if you ever decide you want to add one. That's where it plugs in. Your breakaway. One thing to know with the breakaway, if your battery is hooked up, if the key gets pulled out, it does activate your brakes. If it's left like that for a while, it can drain your battery and do damage to your brakes, so something to keep an eye on. You have a power jack up front, on and off switch for the light, and up and down. Front cubby. Here. Underneath you got a stabilizer jack. There is a stabilizer jack in all four corners. These are for stabilizing, not leveling. If you try to lift your unit with these, they will bend. So just keep in mind that they're just meant for putting pressure on the ground so your camper doesn't rock. The low point drain here is your freshwater drain. Above your wheel is your intake and exhaust for your furnace. Just a note there, it gets really hot, so don't store anything in front of it. On your wheels, the center cap here pops off. You can grease your wheel bearings on these. Not a bad idea to a couple times a year throw a couple pumps of grease in them, but if you are putting lots of miles on, I do recommend getting the bearings repacked. Your sewer dump here, you have your gray water here, and they are labeled, and the black holding tank on the other side. Outside shower with hot and cold. Your black tank flush. If you are using your flush, just make sure that you have your black tank valve open. If you don't, it just fills up your tank and you could end up with a mess. City water connection. If you're at a campground that has water right at your camp, you can just run a garden hose directly into there. You're good. You have your 30 amp power cord here. Satellite TV and cable input. This is the input going into the trailer. Your hot water heater. These are propane and 110 electric. All the controls are on the inside. The only thing you really need to know here is put the plug in the drain, and very important for winterization, make sure these are drained. There's going to be a sewer hose in your bumper, not there yet. Spare tire mounted on the bumper. No ladder on this unit, but I do recommend once, twice a year, especially if you're in a storm or something, make sure go up and inspect your roof just to see if you have any cracks in your vents or anywhere that might leak. At the back you have a propane line. It's a quick coupler with a valve if you ever wanted to add a barbecue to the back. Power awning, LED strip lighting underneath, air conditioner, 2 vents on top of each other for your fridge. All the controls are on the inside, so there's no reason to go in behind there. You have a couple outside speakers. This is the exhaust vent for your range above your stove. Mount for your TV. If you ever want to mount a TV outside, this is where it mounts to. And then you have your cable TV satellite output here, and a 110 power. Fresh water fill here. Drain was on the opposite side. This is the fill. The entrance door. And back to the front. Big crank here is for your stabilizer jacks, and the little crank here is for your electric jack. If you ever have a problem, you have no power, you can take the top plug off and use that crank, and you can manually crank your jack up and down. So I think that is about it. We will head inside.